Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Podcast Pasta. That's a podcast that's like pasta, not the podcast that's about pasta. As always, I'm your host, Mike, and today I'm joined with Jen Hamada. You are a VTuber, and I believe you describe yourself as kind of an amateur cosplayer. Jen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Jen, I give you a very brief introduction, but I guess if you kind of want to expand on that and explain in your own words what you do and what motivates the content you put out.
You mean my cosplay or do you mean my VTubing or both?
All of it, both. Yeah.
Oh, both. Well, initially I started VTubing around 2020, but it's mostly for a school project. And it's sort of just like me in Zoom meeting, just using VTubing software. I think I remember something with, I think it's V Lifer. I don't really remember the name. But it was, like I said, mostly for Zoom meeting in my college. And after that, I realized, well, I can do this in like YouTube because I've seen people who are doing that before. So I bought some cheap mic, I bought a webcam, and it just started piling on to me like, hey, I kind of enjoy this. I can do this for a certain day in the week. And I just like started doing it with games, and I meet a lot of people doing that as well. And it's just generally something that I found fun to do. It's something of sort of a hobby. And as for cosplaying, I've been cosplaying for, I don't really remember. I think it's somewhere between 2018. At the time, I was just, again, doing it for fun, but some people actually like my cosplay, so I keep doing that. It's just things I do for hobby. There is no other aspiration aside from that, actually.
So you just said that part of you pursuing like VTubing is that you did it as part of like your college coursework. Am I correct in that?
Not college course, no. I just thought it was like novel. It's kind of like there is novelty of like trying to be different from other student. And the thing is, my professor doesn't mind, so I just keep doing it.
Oh, okay. So it's like just kind of more of a hobby for you. I was asking if you had specifically studied in like anything related to like VTubing, like in art,
No,
or is like your studies like basically separate from what you like do as like a content creator?
no, it's just I can do it. Why not? That's it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just ask because I always talk about this whenever I have a VTuber on the program, but because VTubing kind of is like this thing that is sometimes pursued as like a genuine career, and others just treat it as kind of more of a hobby. It's always interesting to see people's backgrounds in terms of like how they got into it, and like how some people that have like a more creative background, like it kind of like fuels their work in VTubing. So I'm always curious to ask about that.
Mhm.
Um, but you said you've been so from my understanding, you have like a Twitch and a YouTube, but I think your dominant channel is, or like your dominant platform, I should say, is YouTube, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I
It,
don't do anything in Twitch. I just have an account, and because like my friend told me to like make an account in Twitch, and currently I think there's like 100-ish like follower on Twitch, and I was like, I genuinely don't know why, because I don't do anything in Twitch at all. I don't do anything. I'm just here to like watch my friends or like other VTuber who like affiliate with play games or like stream there. That's all I do in Twitch. But on YouTube, I must like stream on YouTube. I just like on, how do you call it, on Wednesday, for example, I just like stream on YouTube and just like be done with it, posting clips, and that's it.
Now, is there any reason why you don't stream on Twitch? Or I know like some VTubers, for example, do like a simulcast where they stream on both like Twitch and YouTube. Is there a reason why you just stick with YouTube as your platform?
Yeah, there is three reasons actually why. One of the reason is technical issue, because back then in 2024, I think like last year, I tried to do both. My PC cannot handle it. That's one. Second is that I mostly use YouTube. That's the thing. I don't use Twitch as often because I feel like using Twitch itself is a bit niche if I want to like post clips and do the stream at the same time. Because why do two jobs at a time if you can do one? And third is that actually I don't really like Twitch that much. Like all things considered, I can understand some of like the decision in like YouTube because even though they're like sometimes weird or just unfair or nonsensical, I can see why the reason why they pick it. Twitch nowadays is a bit off to say the least. So that's that.
What do you mean by off?
It's sort of like I don't agree with them, and I cannot really find justification of why they're doing that. So that's what I mean by off. Like
If
why
you
would
don't
they do
mind
that?
me asking, is
Mhm.
there a specific policy you don't like?
Well, currently I see like their policy on VTuber. That's the thing. I can see like the hypocrisy in their policy. Shoot, those rhymes. Hmm.
Yeah, it's just because I'm not again like my main platform is also YouTube, but I don't like stream myself most of the time. It's just like you know pre-edited content, so I don't know too much about like new policies with Twitch regarding VTubers. Like, what's the main issue?
Mhm. I think it's mostly because there is some sort of how should I put it? Unwritten rule against VTuber because like for some reason VTuber is like some of the people who like got targeted first for banning or suspension in Twitter. No, not on Twitter. In Twitch for
Yeah.
some reason. Yeah, because I've seen people who was supposed to be banned on Twitch because of like certain artistic reason, and then for some reason they don't. Well, VTuber who does the same just got banned instantly. I genuinely don't know the reason why, but there's some sort of bias in their system.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember what you're talking about. Like it was with I guess like some more risque. I think I remember like more risque VTuber
Mhm.
models got banned where like, like non VTubers like doing like having similar type of dress weren't as much. And I
Mhm.
think if I'm remembering correctly, I can't remember exactly how little controversy was, but moving on. So your model, from what I understand, is a raccoon, right?
Mhm.
So I guess I then have to ask, why raccoon?
It's not used to be a raccoon actually. I got turned into a raccoon out of peer pressure from my viewer because apparently, if I remember correctly, I was streaming Stardew Valley at the time, right? And I have this habit, even before streaming it as well, of opening trash can and just like scavenging for stuff, usually for food or something I can sell within the game. And one of my chat says that how do you call it? She's just like scavenging for trash again, that little raccoon. I think I remember that's what they said. And I told them I am not a raccoon. So this one time I was using a 3D model instead of like 2D, which I found easier to like model again and just like recreate and stuff like for VTubing, right? I make a raccoon. I give myself like a gray hoodie with like a writing says suffer in the middle. I give myself like a ear, like a cat ear, but it's like I painted gray so it's look more like a raccoon. And I give myself like a more dirty look. And don't tell anyone. I don't actually reveal to anyone until the day I stream. I said, I did this for you guys. You guys did this to me. I got turned the raccoon. I did that for no reason at all. I just do that just to spite them. And the design stick because apparently people like it. They said like it does fit my personality and does it looks cute. So I kept it.
Um, well, because I know like the only I think there's like some other like really huge V2 like Snuffy, right? I believe is also like a
Mhm,
raccoon, and
mhm,
so do you kind of find it difficult? Like, are there often comparisons drawn between like you and her in terms of like both of you picking like raccoons as your like avatar, or is there like as like your VTuber model?
no, to be
Oh,
perfectly
really?
honest, I don't really see the reason why people won't compare me and Snuffy. People says that I do have a similarity to Snuffy, which is me and her using a raccoon as our basis for model. But I don't really see why you won't compare me and Snuffy. I see Snuffy as her own VTuber, her own person. She does what she like. I'm also a Raccoon VTuber. I also do what I like. I don't see the reason why you won't compare me with her. She's her own person. I am my own person. If you like Snuffy, you can watch Snuffy. If you like me, you can watch me. If you like both of us, you can watch both of us. With both of us do the different thing.
Fair enough. I just know that like in VTubing sometimes there's like a lot of overlap with people picking like similar themes for their models, and like
Mhm.
some people point that like some people kind of criticize that in their like own way, that there's too much like redundancy in the VTubing field. But I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mhm. I
Um.
just oh, do
Oh
you
no,
want me
sorry. Go
to?
ahead.
Oh, okay. So I don't really like that's become like a common trend recently, and I also noticed them as well. A lot of people keep saying like, "Hey, this design kind of reminds me of this person." Like, you're trying to copy this person, and I was like, "No, that's like no. I can see the similarity. Don't get me wrong. I can see the similarity between this person. I'm just giving an example. I'm not giving names. I can see the similarity between this design and this design, but both of them inherently are different person. I do not like people who reach to actually just do like a how to call it a hate campaign because two people have the same thing. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, why won't you want to do that? Because those people inherently are not fans for both. They're like trying to divide like the fan base to like fight each other for like drama. That's literally what they do. If someone like Snuffy, right? Because if someone like in Snuffy fan base likes her, right? She will not. No, they will not want Snuffy to fight this other person for like how do you call it, for popularity or like to be seen by people's eyes. If you genuinely like to do what you like, you will not actually like how do you call it? You will not actually like start a hate campaign against each other. I like doing VTubing. I do not like to be brought into a fight that I don't really care about. If people compare me with Snuffy, I was like, huh, that's cool. If people says like I'm copying Snuffy, I was like, huh, okay. And if people like start wanting me to fight Snuffy because both of us are Raccoon, I was like, nope, no, not my thing. I don't want that. Snuffy is just doing her own thing. I do my own thing. We don't bother each other. That's fine. That's it. It's as simple as that.
So I so from what I gather, you didn't necessarily design your own model or anything like that, correct? You
Oh, I do.
basically commissioned somebody to like create the model for you.
Well, for the 2D one, I have someone like draw it but rig it. But no, the basis model is for me.
Okay, so I guess then I can ask you more specifically, like what specific considerations did you I guess kind of put in terms of like what you wanted from like, is there anything specific about your character that you want to like really, I guess, kind of emphasize in the design?
Hmm. Not really, actually. So my model is pretty much covered except for like the lower part because I'm wearing skirt and like how do you call it, thigh highs. Uh, but aside from that, I don't really have a lot to offer. Mostly because I actually do go off as like a simplistic design because at the time I was like drawing like digital art, right? And I found out recently that people says they like my design because it's pretty simple. A lot of VTuber out there have like a really complex design, which does make them stand out. Don't get me wrong. That's one point you have, but it's also difficult for people to draw because it's too unique, just to say the least. I don't want that because I was drawing my own character and I found it really hard for me to like make a unique design or like more difficult to draw design because I cannot draw. So my model is basically stuck at my limitation to create it. If I can create it, that means other people can. If I cannot create it, there is a chance that people cannot. That's what I'm saying. So it's just simplicity at its finest. That's exactly my design philosophy.
So I guess keeping that in mind, I guess, do you have any plans in the future, or like in the immediate, or even like even further out in the future to, I guess, are there any, like, I guess what I'm asking is there any, are there any updates that you want to make to your model that you're considering in the future?
Hmm. Well, I was thinking of getting like something more formal for my model. Not exactly a dress, but more of a tailored suit, I suppose, if I can afford that. That's something I want to try to do. Maybe a
So,
tuxedo. I don't know.
oh,
Never seen a raccoon with a tuxedo before.
yeah, yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. So, currently, because I know like VTubers, a lot of times, they often like have different, like costumes for their models. Like, how many costumes do you currently have?
Only one. Like, well, there is two
Only.
actually. Well, there is me in my gray hoodie and like suit and tie underneath it. But there's also like one, but this one's specific for my 3D model because I don't have it worn right now. I'm cosplaying as Steffi Crockett. It's basically a frontiersman. So I have like a raccoon hat. I have like a leather clothes, like parka, something like that, and shirt underneath, and like wearing pants as well, like
I mean,
brown pants.
that's kind of morbid though, isn't it? Like you're a raccoon wearing like a raccoon hat.
I don't see why not. I think it's just
Well,
you
it's
know,
like if I was a person, I wore like somebody. I mean, okay, okay. Now that I'm talking to myself about like, if I was like a person wearing somebody's skull, that would be kind of like cool in some context. But I mean, you see what I mean, right?
it's morbid. Yes, I know.
Yeah,
But under that context, it was supposed to be like a joke type of clothes because at the time when I was like making my 3D model, right, I don't know how to add tails because raccoon, raccoon has tail, right? So it was just a joke because you guys asking where is my raccoon tail? There, that's on the head. That's the raccoon
that's
tail.
fair. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I think that's very. I think that's a very cool idea. Um,
Mhm,
Kind of pivoting a bit to the cosplay that you do. You describe yourself more amateurish cosplay. Um,
mhm.
and I've seen some of it. And I think it's like very cool. I liked what was the recent one you did? The T 800 or 8,000? Oh my god, what's the Terminator number?
The 100, yeah.
800. Yeah, yeah. And I thought that
Mhm.
was I think that was actually the post that like drew me to your work. But I guess in terms of cosplay, would you ever consider? I guess how would I word this? Like kind of going more professional with it.
No, I I've seen things like doing cosplays, like things with my featuring as well. I have schedule for things I want to cosplay. I have like plans for what to do the cosplay next, right? But I feel like putting myself on the idea of, I shouldn't post this as much as I can because like people like it. It's kind of giving me like I do this for work type of thing. Because one thing that I generally hate is just making me work on this thing just because people want it. I don't really like doing that because it kind of drains me to do a deadline for cosplaying. The same reason I'm doing deadline for like filming as well kind of drains me a bit because I don't want to see this as an obligation, a job, something like that. I do this thing for fun. If I don't find it fun, I would not do it. I'm pretty honest about how I generally feel about some VTuber as well because I do know some VTuber actually wants to meet a certain quota, even though they're like independent, they want to meet a certain quota. There is goods and ups in doing that. But inherently for me, I feel it's gonna suck the life out of me from actually enjoying what I do. I want to do this thing for fun. I want to do this thing for hobby. I do not seek for any other benefits out of it. If I do get a benefit, for example, there's like people paying me, there's like people following me, there's like people giving me love. I do appreciate it. But I do not ask for that. I just genuinely do this thing because I really like it. I can stop anytime. I just don't.
Respectable, respectable. I guess out of all your cosplays that you've done, then what has been your favorite so far?
Favorite so far. Ooh. That's kind of hard, actually. I put a lot of love in all of them. It is a bit hard to actually think about it. Hmm. I think what is this about love? That is a cosplay of me doing uh Listcarm from Arknights. I keep like removing that because I feel like people doesn't like it because it generally feels a bit low quality as well. But I put a lot of work on it to make the props for the character. Right? Maybe I'll put it soon. Now that I'm being reminded of, probably re-upload it soon. But I generally love that one the most because my dad actually helped me build the shield for the character as well. That's actually like one of the things that my parents have involvement in making cosplay.
Very cool. Very cool. We love supportive parents.
Mm.
I guess kind of with this intersection of you doing like cosplay and VTubing, I know like some VTubers kind of like go out of their way to avoid like immersion break by like not posting pictures of their like real life selves. Is that ever a concern for you with like, you know, doing this type of cosplay and like posting it that some people will be like deterred from you as like a VTuber because it again like breaks that immersion for them of like you as a character versus, you know, you behind the scenes?
Um, so I do have like some people who generally doesn't like me because I'm posting a picture of cosplay to like my Twitter account, and I was like saddened at the time. I was like have a pretty how do you go pretty bad month because I've been kicked down and stuff like that by life, and there's like this one time where I was just woke up. And the first thing I saw is someone calling me uh, all kinds of name because I'm posting cosplay, and I was like generally hurt by that. That I talked to like a lot of people, and just like asking them, "What should I just like stop cosplaying?" Because like I just realized there's like a lot of people who doesn't like me for doing cosplay, and a lot of these people, friends included, my viewers as well, and people I met on Twitter told me like, no, your cosplay is like nice. It's genuinely nice. I really like it. You gotta keep going. You just don't listen to the haters. And it filled me up with like a lot of support and love that I actually like, you know what? I'll just do it because people like it. Uh, and I started posting more cosplay. I posting like a lot more. And even like people asking me to like for tips on doing cosplay. So I just generally giving them away. I just like it when people how do you come up to me like asking me like for help or tips and stuff like that for things I know. And I know it's the immersion breaking, right? Which is why when I posted cosplay or any kind of like picture related to like me, I post it on my Discord server first because those people actually like genuinely like me. Those people will not judge me for things I do. That's why they stay. But um I do like accept the criticism or like things to improve in my picture and like with my cosplay as well that I taken. And I don't know that some people actually has problem with this type of immersion break as well. And generally I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. If you like to do cosplay as a VTuber, it's fine. Don't worry. I do cosplay with my helmet, with my helmet like causing my head, like hiding it, right? It's for my privacy. If my privacy, people like it, I don't mind. But it's generally for my privacy. I just generally don't think it is breaking the immersion of VTuber doing cosplay. I feel like that is a bit too cruel because at the end of the day, we are still human. We're doing things that we like and we posting things that we think is appropriate to uh, our social media. But at the end of the day, we are still human. We cannot be taken for granted or taken as a tool to appease the public. No, we're not. If you want to do cosplay as a VTuber, it's fine. But don't listen to like all the what everything that people says. You can just ignore them. That's something I learned recently. You can just ignore them. People that doesn't like you just gonna go away. But people that actually like likes you gonna stay. I stick like that.
So I guess, well, I guess I'm kind of because you're like I think one of like you're like the first cosplayer I've actually had kind of on this channel, even though you don't really necessarily do it in like a professional sense. I guess I'm kind of curious, what is the hardest part about cosplaying for you?
Getting the specific clothes. That's it. Budget that you can manage budget. Don't get me wrong. You can save up your money from like work or from parents giving you like your allowance, or maybe like there is like in your community there's a donator who like giving you money for like doing cosplay, because those three actually there is like something I use myself. But getting the specific thing, for example, like if there's this character wearing like a jacket that looks like it has a scorpion in the back, for example, right? White jacket, scorpion in the back. You gotta find a specific someone who sell that, or you can make it yourself, or you can have it tailored by someone. Those three are an option. However, getting someone to like tailor it requires a lot of money. That's something I learned. Getting a personally tailored clothes is expensive. Doing it yourself means that you have to learn how to sew, how to find specific fabric to make the clothes, and at the same time the patience and the hour pour into it. You have to need all those. If you want to find someone who sell it, but that means you have to scour the internet to find someone who sell it. That's the thing. Because recently I wanted cosplay as Celti from Durarara. Because a lot of people says like I look like Celti, and because of the helmet as well. I try to find people who sell latex suit online. They're either expensive or not in stock. That's it. That's the main problem you're gonna encounter. So out of like all those problems, it's really the affability of the item that you're trying to use for cosplay. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, the expensive latex suits make sense because it's such a very specific, like not only material but item that I think,
Mhm,
like, yeah. So I could see that kind of being very difficult to get. That's interesting though.
mhm.
I always thought that for cosplaying the hardest part would be like the conceptual. Oh my god,
No.
conceptualization phase. Coming up with like cosplay ideas. I imagine that would be the hardest part. At least like it would be for me if hypothetically I got into cosplay.
Mhm. I mean, again, that actually rolls back to the thing I said as well. A lot of people out there try to like cosplay as their own VTuber model, right? Or other people try to cosplay as their own VTuber model. Well, again, that comes back to my what I said about my VTuber model as well. A lot of people have like a really unique and difficult to do or draw cosplay. No, draw model. And that actually also come back to cosplaying as well. Because the harder or more difficult your model become, the harder it is to recreate it. I've seen people who like try to cosplay as, for example, I don't really remember the name of like that VTuber I see, but they're like their design is really cool. I genuinely like it, but it's gonna be hell to cosplay as them because there's a lot of parts that you have to like recreate yourself or sew yourself. I don't think anyone sell that type of like outfit. That's the thing. If you want to cosplay as me, that's simple. I just have like a hoodie, have like a suit and tie underneath. I just have a skirt and like stocking, and the hoodie itself, you can just like I don't know, like Photoshop like a writing software if you don't like have it. How do you call it? Mate, like the writing mate on like the hoodie. That's it. That's all. That's all you need for me. I'm done. So I like the simplicity and design. It's easier for the people to recreate. It's easier for people to do, and it's easier to for you as well as a content creator to like manipulate it because well not manipulate, modify. That's the word. To modify the design because the simplicity is the best part about being a VTuber.
Towards the midway point of this episode, and we're coming into
Mhm.
like this section that I always like to kind of do. I've been trying to like formulate on my own end, and I think I've kind of settled on I guess kind of asking this, being part of like the VTuber space. What is your biggest criticism about the current VTubing landscape at the moment?
You mind if I give you multiple like Yeah, you anything I give you multiple
Yeah,
points on
go
this?
ahead. Go ahead. I have airtime to fill, so yeah, go ahead.
That's story going too fast, is that what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Uh there's three actually. There's three things I generally have like criticism against VTubing community. One is that people see this as a competition. Again, that actually brings up my point about me and like Snuffy comparison. So far, no one actually compared me with Snuffy. People says that as an example of other VTuber, Raccoon VTuber, Snuffy. But I haven't seen people comparing me with Snuffy before, which is good, I suppose. I don't really need this much like uh, back and forth with people who like try to compare me with someone else. I don't really genuinely care about those type of thing. But it's become like tiring to talk about. So what I want to talk about is that when people compare, for example, this design with this design or this person VTuber model with this VTuber model, I found it a waste of breath to try to like argue with them because apparently these people who says it usually are not the person themselves. They are outside party trying to like stir the pot. I don't like that. And that's become like a prominent trend around people because people just like stirring the pot between like this community and this community. And it's become like a kind of a hate bandwagon between both of them, which at the time, these two actually has no, either no knowledge of each other or has no beef with each other. If this actually goes for long, they will have beef. They will like start to hate each other. And I just don't see why we need more hatred against each other in like victim community. We're doing this as a how do you call it? As a streamer, as a VTuber because we like it. And there's like people who just do it for money. I get that point. I've been like tempted to do those type of things as well. But at the end of the day, we do this thing for our own reason. And I feel like hatred fueled reason is not a really good reason at all to actually start the hate campaign against each other just because we look the same. The second one that I want to point out is that there is a threat. No, there is a trend of botting. Now, this is something that I already know as well, like different subculture of like internet as a whole. But there is like a lot of bots. Generally, there is a lot of bots in like the VTuber space that it's generally saddening me to see the list that it doesn't feel genuine. People that you met on the internet usually is like either scammer, AI bot, or just grifter. And it feels so weird to see like bots trying to like start a trend or like start the what's it called rage bait just to like get something like attention to their AI created like stuff. And yeah, again, it feels not right. It just feels not right. I've seen a lot of like people using like VTuber, like EN VTuber debut to be announced soon, but it's just bots. It's just bots doing engagement bait. The third one is that there's also like a lot of prominence of like AI generated content in like uh VTubing space as well. I've seen a lot of people using AI in how do you call it as a VTuber to make like their model to make their how do you call it video. And in all honesty, I don't like it. I just generally don't like it. I don't support it. I don't like it. I don't have any I don't have anything to say, anything good to say about the usage of AI. Because at the end of the day, when we're doing VTubing, we're actually doing things that we like, the things we do as business. That's our business. But if you're doing VTubing with AI, for example, you sucks the soul out of that. There is nothing good out of it except for making mediocre result. I think there is no good that you cannot do with your hand. No, there's nothing good that you can do with your hand that AI can actually copy. When you make a AI fitable model, right? You are trusting this thing to actually do what you think you want to do. I've seen Canva has like an AI generator to make their model, and I generally don't like that because you're telling a machine to make something for you. It's not exactly what you want, but you pretend that you like it. That's the thing. It's mediocre, to say the least.
Yeah, and where's the fun in that? Like,
Mhm,
for example, I use like kind of a PNG model for like, just my avatar with this. And I have
mhm,
this fun story of like how I, got it. It was like kind of from a public domain movie, which I'm keeping a secret, if my savvy audience can figure it out. But,
mhm,
if I just had an AI created, I wouldn't have like that interesting aspect about like my model. So yeah, I get that. I get that.
mhm,
I
mhm.
actually know that
It's something.
recent. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
oh, oh. Yeah. You want me to continue or?
Oh no, sorry. I thought you were saying something.
Oh, no, I was. So that's actually like something that come up to me as well. There's someone coming up to me in Twitter DM asking me to like, hey, Jen, can you like give me like tips on how to be a VTuber because I just started, and I was like, one thing I told them, the first thing I told them, right, get a model, get a model. It doesn't matter if it's 3D, 2D, hell, freaking PNG VTuber is fine as long as you have a hand on creating that, right? It'll be fine. It doesn't matter how cringe it'll look. It VTubing at its like VTubing as its soul, it is cringe. We're hiding behind like a screen and trying to do our own twist on like how we react as like a streamer or play as a streamer, right? But at the end of the day, even if you're a PNG VTuber, I have more respect for you for actually trying than if you actually tell an AI to create your model. People with doing PNG, right? That actually give their time, their soul into creating or making this model itself. Even if, hell, if it's news, it's like fucking Fujitech. If you use Fujitech, right, to like bounce up and down with like your Discord model, that is still there is still novelty in doing that. There is still how do you call it, the vibe of you actually trying to be a VTuber. It's nice. It's really nice to see people actually try. But if people are using AI, I don't really see why you won't do that because it's I can't defend that, man. That's the thing. It's just bad. I don't see why you won't do that aside if you to try to griff. So that's that.
No, I was also going to say to add on to that, I know recently you also had a post calling out the use of like AI with certain like cosplay posting videos.
Mhm.
And I guess if you could give me kind of more of an explainer on it, because the way that I see it, or I think the controversy is that like people would post like cosplay pictures and then enhance it with AI, or is like the entire like cosplay image just generated from AI?
It is AI.
Yeah, just through and through, just
But
AI.
it's just two and two and I. But that's just like their entire account is just straight up AI cosplay or AI video of people pretending to cosplay. So I think I need to put some clarification of what that means. When I talk about the AI cosplayer, I mean like people who actually use AI generator as a means to make picture of cosplay. There is, and I mean this like as the most respectful way possible. There is an AI cosplay generator in Google front page AI generator, AI cosplay generator on like Google, just straight up front page. You can actually look it up right now. And the first time I found about it is like, what? What do you mean, like AI cosplay? What does that mean? And I dig deeper, and I found someone who posting AI cosplay video of two girls as uh Supergirl. I think it's medical correctly, kissing each other. It's literally just like it made me cringe. I'm not jealous about it. No, frankly, I don't. But it pissed me off because is this how low we're gonna get? I thought like cosplaying means like, we dress as a character we want to dress, we give them time and like again found the material, find the time to actually do the cosplay itself, taking a picture. Because the thing that actually like angers me more about like AI generated content is that it takes no effort at all to do this type of thing. And people will flock to it. That person on Twitter who like make those AI generated content has 10K follower. I've seen people who do cosplay that genuinely better than mine, that genuinely boggles my mind with how good it is, got less than that. 10K for AI generated content. That genuinely pissed me off. Like, that's undeserving. Where these 10K people just like not understanding that these are like AI generated? Because that first time I saw it, it fools me as well. I thought there was like legit someone like who could do cosplay of Supergirl. And I thought, oh, that's actually really nice. And it's just AI. Why? What is the fun? What is the fun in that? Isn't the fun of like doing cosplays like when you actually spend time on making it and like actually be proud of the result? This is the result of AI. This is it. It's just I don't know. It just it just I'm just speechless to be perfectly honest.
It seems like so weird for, especially with cosplay, because I see it as like a very like cosplay in particular is a very like human form of expression because it's about like seeing a real person dress as something. You know, if I just want to see like a drawing of like a random character dressed as like a thing, that's like one thing. But like part of the appeal of cosplay is like again having like an actual person take the time to like dress up as it. So I was also kind of very surprised to find out that like AI cosplay is even a thing. I learned it from you because again I don't really follow cosplay myself, the whole cosplaying
Mhm.
scene myself. Um, but I guess kind
There's
of
a lot of people who oh okay, I'll just there is like a lot of people who doesn't know AI cosplay exists. And I generally want people to know that AI cosplays exist because I want to like people to be aware of this type of thing. Not everyone you met, not everyone, not every cosplay you saw on Twitter or in the internet, right, as a whole, is real people now. That not all of them. Some of them is literally like AI cosplay. And again, like I said, it's just generally just it displeased me that this is actually how low we are gonna get now. Like, really, is this really something we want to do? Like, use AI for? There's a lot of things you can do good with AI. Don't get me wrong. But if our usage for it is literally to recreate something that like this, the one of the most honest, most genuine expression of our love for a franchise or a series that we actually watch or enjoy. This is our uh how we actually like treat it. I'd rather not living in this world anymore. Like it's just so bad to say the least. Ugh. I just don't know.
so I guess pivoting a bit here, I know that you know with your work VTubing that you've collaborated with like a number of other like creators, some of them VTubers themselves, others I don't think are VTubers. I guess I'm kind of
Mhm.
curious, and always like kind of a general question I like to ask people is like, what is a dream collaboration for you?
There is two actually. Terry Crews and there is Terry Crews and Tenma Miami from Face Connect. I know.
I mean, I don't know
Just wanna
because I don't know either
do.
of those people, but very cool. Anything that draws
Wait, you
you
don't
to
know
them?
Terry Crews?
Oh, I mean the actor.
Yeah, the actor, Terry Crews.
Oh, okay. Oh, the actor. Yeah, yeah. No, I thought.
Hmm?
I don't know. I thought. It's very early for me. I thought you were talking about like a VTuber. I'm kind of in that zone. Um,
Uh,
um. Yeah. I guess what draws you to them in particular?
Terry Crews, I like the guy. He's a very good actor. He's a very funny guy as well. Tenma Miami because from Face Connect because back then there are like people telling me that I sounds like Tenma, like I sounds like her, and I actually make a video of it which she saw, and I was like, oh my god, that's actually the person. So like, fuck it, you know what? If I can like how do you call up with like Tenma, I'll be like really happy about it. And there's like people saying like, Jen, you should like how do you call it? Audition for like Face Connect, and I was like, I don't think I would get accepted, man. Like that's a dream. So yeah,
Well, Terry Crews, if you're listening to Podcast Pasta, that's let's get you working with Jen here. Um,
Hi Terry, if you see this, hi, how you doing? You wanna do collab
totally.
together?
Um, but so mainly with with like your VTubing, it's mostly you. At least from what I've seen, it's mostly like gameplay streaming, you streaming yourself playing games with
Mhm,
sometimes other people, and I think sometimes yourself. Is there any other
mhm.
like I guess because I know like some VTubers like they also do like game streams, but they also like do just chatting streams, or if they're artists, they do like art streams. Is there any type of I guess how would you expand on like what you currently stream? Do you see yourself just sticking with like video game streams, or just or expanding out into possibly doing like just chatting, or like I don't know, anything else like that?
So well, my channel is mostly dominated with like me playing games. But back then, I also draw, like do a draw art stream. I do twice of them actually before I just like doesn't do them anymore. It's mostly just like choice out of choice. There's no actually reason why I just like start drawing. And for just chatting, I recently got into that actually. I generally like talking to people as I found out. And people like talking about the thing I found interesting as well. So yeah, I've been recently getting into just chatting stream. But mostly my channel is just variety of things what I had in mind at the time.
Now, I always say this every time I ask this question because I hate how much of like a job interviewee question it is, but I think does kind of give interesting insights into like the creative process and things like that. But I guess for yourself, what was the biggest mistake that you made when you first got into like VTubing?
My first mistake. Hmm. Can you elaborate more on this? Like what do you mean by mistake?
Or like biggest I don't know if mistake is the right word. Like kind of like because let me think. Like when, for example, when I first got into like podcasting, one of the things that I kind of did incorrectly is that I didn't really do that much in terms of like audio editing. So you'll see like in a lot of my earlier content, the audio is just abysmal, right? I didn't reach them at the right levels. I wasn't like
Mhm.
adding any post effects to help with like the audio clarity and stuff like that. And arguably, I'm still not amazing at audio editing, but I've gotten like better with time. Is there anything like that for you that, when you first started VTubing, you weren't really like good at something, but like over time, as you learn more about how to VTube, about the VTubing sphere, that you eventually got better at, that you look back and like, oh man, why wasn't I doing this, or why wasn't I doing that?
Hmm. Well, there is one thing I feel like my biggest blunder back then. It's at the time when I was first started, right? Uh it's a bit also like a thing that like I try to remember as well. At the time I was getting a new PC, right? Because not really started, it's just like some like on 2023, I think. I was buying like new PC to like replace my laptop because my laptop cannot go far anymore. I've been using it for like VTubing, but I think it started like to give up on me. So I was like trying to buy like a new PC. And at the time, people told me like to get the uh how do you call it, PC to build, right? I forgot what it's called. Um, so I don't know how to build a PC, and I have a really bad time trying to do anything regarding to computer because I'm like technologically how do you call it? Technologically impaired, to say the least. I don't know anything about how to fix a computer or my phone or anything like that. I don't know anything about those. So I bought a pre-built PC, and I still use the same PC to this day. But here's the thing: there is been a lot of problem with this PC as of recently, and I generally feel like buying a pre-built PC that's been used to do how do you call it, mining is a bad idea. So that's actually one of the mistake I've pre-built. Buying a pre can be a problem. So I think it's better to buy one that you can build yourself.
But yeah, I think I can't remember if mine. Yeah, like mine is also kind of a pre-built too, but I did get it from like a pretty decent place, and and so far
Mm.
mine's been pretty okay. I guess like I acknowledge I probably could have gone better if I had built it myself because I think that it's like I don't know, it's always like cheaper to like build it yourself as opposed to getting like pre-built. Um, but yeah, so okay, okay, I see. I
Mhm.
guess while we're on like the topic of like equipment, I'm always curious because doing what I do, you become kind of like this weird audiophile, like in terms of like microphones and stuff like that. What's your current setup in terms of like your mic and everything?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I
Huh.
told you I'm just technologically impaired. I don't know anything about PC. I don't know anything about microphone. I don't know anything about keyboard, mouse. I just thought like, you know what? That's keyboard and mouse. That's a mic. That's a CPU. That's a monitor. That's it.
Right, so you don't know if you're
What the hell do
using
I
like
know?
so are you using like an XLR mic or anything like that, or just plain digital?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Um, uh,
There's also like things that I also like notice as well. A lot of YouTuber, a lot of gamer in general as well, like use controller, right? For their stream, for their gameplay. And I was like just gaming in general using like controller. And I was like, for the life of me, what do you mean you use controller? I just use mouse and keyboard. I feel like using mouse and keyboard is like more accurate because I actually know where I'm going. But I think that's just like me being like biased to like how I actually just grew up using them. I generally cannot fathom the idea of people using controller. Like, what do you mean you're using the joystick to like aim or move? Like, don't you feel like using mouse, like where your hand is, feels more accurate? And then I realized the same thing can be said to me as well. Like people can using joystick, like do you feel like using the joysticks like a lot easier than using keyboard and mouse? So I don't know. I just cannot wrap my head around people using controller to control, despite the name. I know. I feel like I prefer keyboard and mouse compared to controller because I generally have no idea how to use this thing.
well, that also kind of just depends on like what genre of game you play, right? Like, I can't imagine doing, let's say, like, I mean, I've kind of done it in the past, like fighting games with keyboard. You kind
Mhm.
of can, but I think it's like a little. I think it's more of a strain on the hand. I'm a controller guy myself. It's just It's what I'm used to. Even in like genres where some people would argue, well, I not argue, but like where people use other control schemes, I'm always like controller. Like even first person shooters, I like control. I just like the feel of it.
I see. It's just like again, it's just the feel of it. Like people using whatever method of like gaming. It's just for them. I just myself I don't actually get it, but yeah, if they find a way to actually play the game in their own way, then good for them. It's fine. But I will not use the controller in my life. No.
Not for any type of game.
Mm, no. If I come to someone's house and they hand me like controller to like play games, I was just like, no, no, I don't think I will.
So, unfortunately, we are approaching kind of the end of this episode. Oh my god, I was gonna say Gene, but that's not it. Jen, um, if you could go ahead and shout out where people can find you, where people can find your work, if they want to, support you, or if they're just in general interested in following what you do.
Mhm. Yeah, so if you guys wanna like check out the stuff I do, I have a Twitter, Ejena Hamada. I also have a Discord server, which I also put in the bio and the link as well of my Twitter. I stream on YouTube from Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 10 a.m. EST. My YouTube channel is at Jenna Hamada. You can actually just check me there as well. I have a big Sif as well, but I don't actually like, do anything much on there as well. I have Blue Sky if you guys want to follow me. I don't really do anything in Blue Sky. I also don't do anything in my Twitch, but I also have a Twitch if you guys want to follow me as well. Wait, did you put the link of my stuff in your video or not? Why would I say this?
I always do. Um,
And why? Okay.
well, in case like
Check
because
check the
nobody actually
description, guys.
reads the description. Like sometimes I just put
Check the
nonsense in
description,
there.
guys. Come on. People put a lot of work and love in the description. Read it, okay?
But no, I will link it in the description. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm not sure if
Mhm.
this is going to be my last episode for the year. It just depends on how things play out. I guess kind of one thing that I want to talk about that I didn't get a chance to in my last episode, where I was talking about dispatch, is
Mhm.
I was talking about like this whole idea of like Telltale likes potentially coming back, and I always thought like one cool like franchise to make a Telltale like would be and this is just a personal one for me because I'm such a huge fan of it, but I think like Fargo Telltale like, especially if you really nail the writing, like that kind of whole surreal feel with a lot of dialogue and just like the scenarios and stuff like that. I think that would be a really fun Telltale like. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, it just depends on what Telltale does because I don't know if they're dead as a company or what. But
They got bought. They got bought by Skybound Studio.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, in any case, take care of y'all, and I'll catch you next time.